Hi, I'm Zach, and this is Challenger Vedic Astrology and Tarot. Welcome to the channel. So, today we're talking about the First Lord through houses. And if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out me in the channel. To be notified whenever I release a new video, be sure to hit the bell icon and select all. And if you'd like a Vedic Sidereal birth chart, a personal tarot reading, or an astrology consultation, links to those will be in the description box in the comments below. And if you'd like to donate to help support the channel, the links to those will be in the description box as well. Alright, so we're starting our Planetary House Lord series, and we're starting with the first house. So, when I talk about the First Lord through these houses, First Lord rules the sign of the first house. So, if your Ascendant Lord, essentially, is what we're looking at here. Or if you're reading this from the moon, then you'd look at, okay, moon sign. The planet that rules that sign through the houses. And yes, you can look at it like that. And you also look at this in the Navamsa chart. So, Ascendant chart, Moon chart, Navamsa chart. All three of these, it's very important to look at. Ascendant's going to show your early life. Up until your 30s. Early 30s. Now, Navamsa is going to show your later life, 30s onwards. Moon will show how you think and feel about life. Now, this can improve somewhat in the later life in the Navamsa chart, but overall, people tend to be pretty set in the way they think about things. That comes from your early development. Okay. But, let's start with this. So, First Lord. Well, we're taking the energy of the first house. First house is you. It's your physical body. It's your personality. And now, the first house, Lord, is in these different houses. So let's see what that's about. So, First Lord in the first house. Well, here, the Lord is in its own house. That means that house is being protected. Now, if it's a malefic, sure, there'll be some issues. But that protection is still provided. So, it's a bit of a mixed bag. If it's a benefic, yeah, it'll be mostly good. But, First Lord in the first house shows physically, you're okay. You have decent health. Now, there can be other placements that will make this worse. If you see other planets involved here, yeah, it'll be worse. Or it'll be better. But, First Lord in the first house is very good. It also shows you have a stalwart personality. Meaning, you're kind of set in your personality. Your personality is defined by you. Other people don't really influence your personality if the First Lord's by itself here in the first house. Also, we see with this, you're a bit self-centered. Why? Well, First Lord represents you. Now your focus in life is on you. You're not focused on the other houses. You're focused on you. So, this is very good for health. This is very good for, putting yourself first. Which isn't always a bad thing. Alright, so now, First Lord in the second house. Well, second house is family. Second house is your finances. It's your speech. It's what you value. It's your possessions. So here we see you are very involved with your family. Now, once again, this can be affected depending on other planets. But the base energy of this is you would be heavily involved with your family. Also, you would be focused on the family. You'd be focused on finances. You may, be quite the speaker with this. Because second house is speech. But the biggest thing with this, definitely, is family focus and focused on your finances. First Lord is definitely the most simple. Now, when First Lord goes into the third house, well, here we see you undergo a major transformation at some point in your life. Why? Third house is 8th from the 8th house. So 8th house is transformation. Third house is transformation of transformation. It's the higher form of transformation. Transformation through self-effort. So there's a big transformation that you undergo here. Also, you are focused on your younger siblings, your cousins, your neighbors. Your community is important to you with the third house. With you being involved in that third house. Also, third house is media, social media, internet, marketing, sales. It's communication of all kinds, including writing. Third house is physical activity, sports, art. So these are the things that you are heavily focused on in your life. You're very involved with your community. Communication is extremely important in your life. Who knows? Maybe you have a career in marketing, sales, and media. Also, third house is a house of travel. Here, you travel a lot. Not necessarily long distance, but you are going from here to there. Always something to do. You have to put forth a lot of effort in life. Because third house is effort. Now you are getting physically involved in that effort. So especially we see physical exertion would be needed in your life. Now, First Lord in the fourth house. Well, fourth house is your mother figures. It's your home, land, real estate, vehicles, comfort, and happiness. So here we see the focus of your life is going to be on your fourth house. Your mother. You're always involved with her somehow. Maybe you're the one who takes care of her later in life. You're the one who is responsible for the home. You take on that responsibility because you care about the home. That's what you want to be involved with. Or you have to be involved with. Maybe you're a big car buff. You want comfort and happiness. That's what you try to take control of. See, First Lord is you. It's what you want to control. Whether you feel like you're forced to try to control it, or you want to. Also, fourth house is your homeland. So here, you are very involved with your homeland. Even if you live in a foreign country, you might still find a way to help the people of your homeland. Or be involved with them on a regular basis. As often as you can. Now, First Lord in the fifth house. Well, fifth house is romance. Fun and games. Children. Students, subordinates, education. I was just talking about cars. Now cars are zooming down here. So, with the First Lord in the fifth house, we see children become a big focus of your life. Education is very significant for you. Romance. This is a person that wants to have romance in their life. That's where they're focused. students, subordinates. Like, this person could be a teacher. Is the First Lord responsible for career? No. But it is a piece of the puzzle. But yeah, we clearly see that focus on those areas of life comes in. But also, fifth house being fun and games. This person is that person that wants to have fun in life. Not everyone does. Some people are workaholics. Some always have something going on. But when it comes to just taking the time to have fun, not everyone does that. That's something that a lot of people lose as they get older. But this person wants that, needs that. Fifth house is also politics. This person could become heavily involved in politics later in life. That's not something that usually happens early in life for a lot of people. But later in life, yeah, when a person, reaches into their 20s or 30s, yes, this person could be involved in politics. Now, First Lord in the 6th house. So, there will be some negative information with this one. 6th house is not always positive. There are negatives. First, let's talk about some of the positives, though. So, 6th house is your maternal aunts and uncles. It's your work. It's your pets. It's your coworkers. It's competition, sports. So we see this person is very competitive. They like to compete, or they feel they have to. This person's heavily involved with their maternal aunts and uncles, with their pets. Now, if it's a malefic, maybe not. Maybe they won't care about pets so much, but they'll still have to deal with them. But if it's a benefic, especially, or if that malefic is going into its own house, then we see that this person might enjoy having pets, taking care of pets, taking care of animals. This person's heavily involved in their work. They become very work-focused. Their life becomes about work. Now, that can lean negative. But now let's talk about some of the more negative things. So, 6th house. 6th house is health issues, accidents. It's debt. So here we see this person will deal with health issues. They will deal with accidents. Everyone does, but for this person, it becomes a significant part of their life. This person will have to take on debt, or will have to deal with the debt of others or themselves, whether it's medical or otherwise. Also, 6th house is a house of enemies. Here, you have to directly combat your enemy. Now, that doesn't mean physically. That can mean in a court of law. 6th house is also litigation. It's any kind of battle. So here we see, you have to fight those battles. You have to go in, slay the monster. So here, fighting is a big part of your life. It's the focus of your life. You'll notice, wherever the Ascendant Lord goes, and wherever Jupiter goes, those are the big focuses of your life. Along with wherever Sun is. Because Sun is the spotlight. The Ascendant Lord, the First Lord, is you. Where you're involved. Sun is shining that spotlight. What you are focused on, or have to focus on. Jupiter is the biggest theme of your life. So we see there's trifecta in how it plays out. Now, 6th house, though, is a house of service. You have to serve people with First Lord in the 6th house. Now, this could mean something like you're a waitress. Or It means you want to serve others. You want to make this world a better place, and you're willing to put in the work to do it. This person could be a nurse with this placement. But alright, moving on to the 7th house. So, when First Lord is in the 7th house, well, here, your life, your focus becomes about relationships, becomes about business, becomes about other people. You are no longer focused on you. You're focused on everyone else. So we see you become heavily involved with your spouse. Maybe so much that you lose yourself. In relationships, you focus on them. You don't focus on you. That can be very negative. Be careful with that if you have this placement. Here we see business is a big focus for you, business partner. You are heavily involved in these areas of life. But also, your life could be fairly unbalanced. Why? 7th house is the original house of Libra. Libra is the scales. Scales are always struggling to be balanced. So here your life becomes about balancing relationships with other people. That's the focus. That's what you gotta do. 7th house is very simple. This placement is fairly simple. But there is one thing with it. 7th house is the furthest place away from you. If first house is you when you're born, 7th house is furthest away from you where you were born. Meaning, this can be a placement that can show potentially living in a foreign land. Living far from home. Okay. Now let's talk about the 8th house. So, once again, there will be some negative information here. 8th house is a Dastana house. There's good and bad with this house. So let's talk about it. So, 8th house is death. 8th house is sex. It's the occult. It's research. It's wills, inheritance, estates, legacies. Sun ups and downs, transformation. It's your in-laws. It's joint finances and relationships and business. It's other people's money. It's surgeries. So, let's get the bad out of the way first. Now, when we're talking about death, does that mean this person's going to die? Everyone dies. You don't need to worry about that. Eventually, one day, you will be a part of this dirt. Don't worry about it. Just live your life. But, what do we do see? Well, this person may have to deal with death. Now, that could mean they lose family members. That could mean they help, people that are dealing with death-like situations. This person could be a paramedic. This person could be a firefighter. The sudden ups and downs of life. This person could be the one that helps deal with those things. But yes, can this person have like a near-death experience or something? Yeah, that could be there. Now, what we also see, First Lord in the 8th house. Well, 8th house is a house of surgery. Now the First Lord of the body is in the house of surgery. So we see you're likely to need a surgery at some point in life. Now, most people tend to get at least a surgery in life. I myself have had 2 that I can remember. So, we see that is quite likely. But also, we see the focus of your life becomes your in-laws. Becomes joint finances and relationships and in business. Becomes on other people's money. Maybe you deal with wills, inheritance, estates, legacies. Meaning, you could be a lawyer with this placement. You could be a banker with this placement. Maybe you're overly focused on sex. 8th house is also sex. You could be a prostitute or a porn star with this placement. 8th house is research and the occult. Ugh, my voice is dying. That's what's dying in this video. Okay. But we see this person could be a scientist. This person could be an astrologer, a tarot reader. But these are some of the things that we can see with this placement. Also, 8th house is sun ups and downs and transformation. You will deal with sun ups and downs in your life if you have this placement. There will be a big transformation in your life at some point with this placement. Let's talk about the 9th house. So, here we see you're heavily involved with the 9th house. That becomes the focus of your life. Well, 9th house is your father figures. It's your teachers, mentors, gurus. It's religion, philosophy, the law. It's long distance trouble. Long distance travel. Maybe you're in trouble at long distance. Oh, hell. 9th house is publishing and higher education, if I forgot to mention that. 9th house is also your luck and fortune. So, here we see you're heavily involved with your father. Maybe your father, needs you to take care of him later in life. We can see that you need to focus on your father with this placement, or want to. Now, we also see that you could be religious, philosophical, involved in the law, or you're very focused on those things. They're very important to you. 9th house is higher education. Here we see you would want to get that higher education. Now, 9th house isn't just father. 9th house is ancestry in general. So here, your ancestry could be very important to you. It's not to everybody. Not everyone cares. Some people had a terrible upbringing. Don't give a damn about their family. But with this placement, you are likely to really want to know about your past, about your ancestry. Also, here we see a person could want to publish something. Maybe they're a one and done author. They just want to publish one book and put it out in the world. Maybe they're a teacher. Here you see a person wants to travel to far off places. Also, 9th house is luck and fortune. Here we see this person has luck in their life. Because now their first lord of them is in the 9th house of luck. They're basking in that glow. And 5th house placement is fairly similar. Because 5th house is past life good deeds. First lord in either of these houses is a great placement. Now, first lord in the 10th house. Well, 10th house is career. It's status. It's your workplace, your managers, your bosses. 10th house is government, especially national government. So, here we see a person is very focused on their career, on their status, on their karma. 10th house is the highest house of karma. So here we see this person wants to perform actions in the world. They want to be noticed for something. They want to have status. That's very important to them. Maybe they're a part of the government, a politician. Maybe they're a cop. But we see that they are very focused on these things. They're very heavily involved in the workplace. Maybe this person has trouble clocking out in their head when it comes to work. They've already left the office and gone home, but their mind is still on work. The cogs constantly turning. Their life becomes about their karma. But overall, this placement's very simple. Now, First Lord in the 11th house. Well, 11th house is your elder siblings. It's your hopes, wishes, and desires. It's gains. Financial gain. It's stock market. So, here we see a person becomes very focused on their elder siblings. Maybe their elder siblings are a big influence in their life. They're focused on fulfilling their hopes, wishes, and desires. Here, their life becomes about large organizations, their network circle, their friends. Because that's what the 11th house is all about. 11th house is society in general. It's the masses. Large organizations. So here we see a person's focus in life becomes society as a whole. But this is a great placement in a lot of ways. Here a person gains a lot in life. Because now the First Lord is gaining. They are actively fulfilling their hopes, wishes, and desires. Now, let's talk about the 12th house. So, there will also be some negative information here. So, fair warning. Because 12th house isn't all positive. There are negatives. Now, when the First Lord's in the 12th house, let's talk about some of the negatives first. 12th house is a house of loss. Of all kinds, including financial. So here we see a person will deal with losses in life. Now those losses can be any number of kinds of losses, but they will deal with them. But, believe it or not, most of the 12th house is fairly positive. Outside of one thing, so let's just mention that real quick. 12th house is also a house of hidden enemies. So here we see a person could have hidden enemies that they have to deal with. They won't know the person's their enemy until they've already stabbed them in the back. So that is something you'd have to deal with First Lord in the 12th house. It's a possibility. Now, why is that a possibility? Like I said, 12th house is a house of hidden enemies. So you aren't going to know that the person's your enemy until they already act. Whereas 6th house you know. That bastard's my enemy. I can't stand him. 12th house you don't know. Now, let's talk about the other things with the 12th house. Because 12th house has a lot of good to it too. So 12th house is foreign people, foreign lands, multinational companies. Here we see a person could live in a foreign country. A person could be very involved with foreign people. Maybe you run a business in a foreign country. Maybe you have a lot of foreign clients. 12th house is sex. 12th house is spirituality. Person could have a good sex life. Person could become very spiritual. 12th house is investments. Because to invest money, you have to temporarily lose money. So here a person is heavily involved in their investments. They invest a lot. 12th house is also donations, expenditure. So here, a person might donate a lot. They want to make the world a better place by giving away. Giving to others. With this placement, yeah, we definitely see foreign travel. We see a person kind of gets lost. 12th house is other worlds. Here a person can be heavily involved in fantasy. Now, this can go very poorly. 12th house is also addictions. This person could be a drug addict. or they're a fantasy writer. Either way, their mind is somewhere else. It's gone. But overall, this placement is mostly good. Mostly. Like I said, it does have some negatives. Like all of the Dhisthana houses do. 6th, 8th, and 12th house. But, as I've already mentioned in this video, a lot of the houses have negatives. Even the 9th house. People think it's one of the best houses. 9th house can be very dogmatic. Overly strict. When it comes to religion and philosophy and the law. Those are strict. But alright. This has been First Lord through houses. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Really helps out me in the channel. To be notified whenever I release a new video, be sure to hit the bell icon and select all. If you'd like a Vedic Sidereal birth chart, a personal tarot reading, or an astrology consultation, links to those will be in the description box and the comments below. And if you'd like to donate to help support the channel, the links to those will be in the description box as well. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.